We're gonna install this level 2 EV charger today, then we're gonna box it up and give it away. Check the description. Hey, good morning. Joel Walsman, CEO and Master Electrician of Jefferson Electric. We have got an exciting show for you today. We have a special guest, Tim Garrett from North Carolina, an EV charging expert, and an Autobot. One of the privileges I have is we've got EV chargers coming in from all over the globe right here to Electric Pro Academy. And I'm gonna try to de-risk your decision in making a choice on your EV chargers. So today, look at what I have. It's the Autobot. Autobots. Immediately, one of the first things that caught my attention when I was reading the description is over-the-air updates. Guys, you don't realize in a saturated electronic environment like this, when you have over-the-air updates, something goes wrong and it can be fixed remotely, that's hugely valuable. So I'm intrigued. Let's take a look at what's in the box and we'll get on with it. The mounting guide, user manual, mounting hardware, love it, and a nice, long, durable charge cord with a protective cap, yes. And that standard J1772 format with a catch to prevent it from pulling free. There it is, there it is. Oh, come on, what does the baby look like? Yeah, okay, it's got a great look. Yeah, that's a really good look. That's a really good look. Okay, this is something that we should not be compromising in any way, shape, or form today. Everything that I'm gonna mount in my garage, on the outside of my house, has got to have a beautiful, I mean beautiful appearance, and that's nice. That's really nice. As I'm nerding out over the instruction manual here, I realized one thing. This is not an IKEA instruction manual, which makes me very happy, which means it's clear, it's lucid, first pass, gets it done. Really love that. This is a max rate level 2 charger. It's 11.52 kilowatts. That goes on a 60 amp breaker, which with the D rates required by the National Electrical Code is a 48 amp real supply to your EV. That's max rate, that's beautiful, and that's what I want. This is made for the American market. It's 60 hertz, has a 25-foot cord. It's rated for an altitude up to 2,000 meters, which in the US, we have no idea what that means. It is GFCI protected and has all the appropriate protections that you would want. Over voltage, over temperature, under temperature, leakage, humidity, lightning. It's fully loaded, fully protected, which is an absolute requirement. Every EV charger on the market today should bear all of those requirements, and it does. It fulfills to a T. This unit is indoor and outdoor rated. 13.2 pounds is the total weight. It's very light. There's options for both wall mount and pole mount, plug-in, and hardwire. Let's go. Let's put it on the wall, plug it into the Tesla, and see what happens. Okay. Before I yank this thing completely apart, let's jump on a video call with my friend Tim Garrett from North Carolina. Tim Garrett is the owner of Carolina Electric Pros. They are located in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tim has been a member of our EPro Masters community for a few months now, and I know for a fact that he and his team are performing 3 to 4 EV charger installations per week. Tim runs a fantastic process-oriented business. He's a fantastic individual. He's a tremendous benefit to me personally and to the Masters community. If you're interested in the Masters community, check the link in the description. We would love to have you join us if you're operating an electric company. Tim has a questionnaire to prepare for a positive experience with the customer and the electrician who conducts the estimate. Tim, you've got some insights for us. First, tell me about that questionnaire.
Thanks, Joel. Basically, our questionnaire is trying to prepare myself, our team, our sales guy, and the estimate to give the customer a better experience, and so that they don't have sticker shock when they get our estimate. We tend to send this questionnaire out after a brief conversation with our customers to just go over the details of what an EV charger entails. Oftentimes, they don't often think about the after effect of buying an EV charger, and therefore we try to give them all the information prior to going out on what they may need to get their car charged. In this particular questionnaire, we use questions like HOA, We ask about the pictures, if available, of their panel open so we can look at the space. We ask about how far they want their panel from, or how far they want their charger from their panel. Just basic questions to try to flush out any potential problems that we may have prior to even going out, so my technicians are prepared and that we have all the answers prior to giving them a thorough estimate.
That's really good. That's really good. Do you have any examples recently of where this questionnaire has come into play and you've had a complicated situation?
We do, Joel. So yesterday we had a customer call us for an EV charger install, and he happened to live in a townhome community, shared walls townhome community, and the customer didn't realize the process to try to get this EV charger hooked up. My first question was to him is, were there any other chargers that he knew of in the neighborhood, or any other EV car that were an EV charger install? If he hadn't, the process is that they need to go to talk with their HOA, get the approval before we can even come out, and then start talking about the process by which they give guidelines on how to hook up that EV charger. So that was a complicated situation. We still haven't worked through that yet. The customer's getting with their HOA, and we'll do whatever we need to do and then give them a thorough estimate based on what their requirements are. That's good.
That's good. So from my experience, townhome, shared walls, power at the back, EV charger at the front, that could be a $4,000 to $7,000 project at times, right? With drywall repairs, touch-up paint, all kinds of invasive realities. Would you say it's an obstacle to the EV community when someone's like, wait, I'm going to spend $75,000 on a car, and then I'm going to incur another $6,000 to prepare it for charging at home?
Absolutely, and I think that's part of the almost the sticker shock, or the not buyer's remorse. But there are some additional. It's almost like buying a new set of rims after you buy a brand new car with brand new tires and rims. This is an add-on, but if you want your EV to perform at peak level from a charging perspective, these are costs that will be incurred, and we try to be as we try to be as frugal as possible to try to do it as efficiently as possible, but sometimes there's no other means to get power to the area that they're looking for without having some invasive drywall repair and the things that you've already discussed. So yeah, it's sometimes a difficult conversation, but we try to be fair and try to be as least invasive as possible and try to find the path of least resistance.
That's good. That's good. Additional question for you, surge protection. Do you offer surge protection? Do you offer it specifically in the scenario of EV charging? What's your approach?
We do, and we think this is a great add-on. And we look at this as we give customers options with any EV charger install. With every EV charger install, we give them options of surge protection. We think it's a really important component to protect not only their internal devices, but their external devices. To your point, you buy a $70,000 EV charger, EV car, and we believe that you want to protect that. And one way to protect that is to offer a surge protection system that we make available to not only a panel change, but also any EV charger station that we put in. We offer the surge protection, which we think is a great benefit. It gives some additional insurance and protection for their valuables internally and externally of the house. And we think this, we encourage our customers to put that on in any EV charger install.
Tim, do you find that customers are supplying their own EV chargers, or is that something you're stocking on the shelf at the warehouse or on the trucks? What does that look like?
We typically, 95% of our customers already have purchased either with their vehicle or have found on the open market their EV charging station. I mean, there's two options. As you know, we either can offer a NEMA charger that they can just simply plug their current charger in, or they have one that's been supplied with the vehicle. So in our experience, that's not been something that we've had to deal with. We make it available, and we have suppliers that can supply us EV chargers, and we give them options if we need to do the research for that. But in our experience, that's not been the case.
That's good. That's good. What about utility rebates?
It's a great point. So on every one of our EV charger calls, our local company, Duke Energy, it's a primary supplier of energy for Mecklenburg County and North Carolina in general. They're offering a great rebate for any Duke Energy home. And therefore, within our estimate, we send a link to the Duke Energy rebate form. And also at the end of the job, we send them the permit and the permit certification, as well as the form that they need to send in to Duke. So it's a seamless operation. And then from that point forward, Duke manages the rebate.
That's the high quality service that Carolina Electric Pros is known for. I love that. I love that fact that there's a rebate and that you're facilitating that for the customer. Tim, I've got to ask, you've got two interesting items on the wall behind you, that duck and that picture. Tell me the story there.
Well, I'm a avid hunter, and duck hunter is my passion. This is a duck that my son and I got in Arkansas several years back. It's one of those moments that my son and I have that we get to share together in the woods. And the story behind that is I got first shot on that duck and was able to kill it before my son did. And so every time I look at it, it's one of those memories that I'll always cherish with my son.
That's great. And is that the two of you below the duck out in the wild?
It is. That was last spring turkey hunting. It was just one of those picturesque moments, dark 30, we're getting in the woods, and it was just one of those scenes that it looks like a postcard. It was, again, that's my son and I walking into the woods, getting ready to spend some quality time out in nature, and that's where we find our connection.
That's fantastic. I appreciate Tim. I appreciate you. I appreciate the time. I want to call everybody to check the description. If you live in the North Carolina area, if you are an electrician in North Carolina, Carolina Electric Pros is a fantastic company that's well run and operated with top-notch leadership, bright future. Tim Garrett, thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Joel.
By definition, I went hog wild and put in a 400 amp electric vehicle charging cabinet. That way all of my kids can have access to the discounted power that's provided through a program by our utility company. That program is discontinued this year. Breaker's labeled, 50 amp breaker is off. The program entails me to drive 450 miles of city driving for $1.60 of electricity. I know, right? Whoa, that's crazy. Hey, that's our utility company right there. Boys in the neighborhood. My desire, if you're an electrician watching this video, is that you're more informed about products in the market and practices related to EV charging, because it's an ever-growing market. Some weeks at Jefferson Electric, we're putting 10 of these babies on the wall in a week, right? The demand is escalating dramatically. If you're a consumer watching this video, I want you to feel confident that you're making the right choice in EV charging. If you're interested in all the how-tos, pipe, wire, drilling holes, terminating breakers, check the playlist related to EV charging in the description. We've got all the information there around multiple scenarios, opportunities, challenges, and how you can overcome. Let's pull this apart. Guys, earth-shattering announcement for you here real quick. Jefferson Electric has had the privilege of becoming a multi-trade company in Indianapolis. We have an HVAC, plumbing, drains, solar, and electric team of licensed professionals serving metropolitan Indianapolis. If you're interested in service, check the description, head to our website. Time to test to make sure this is truly, all right, safe to work. 1, 2, and ground. We always pull a neutral with us, say 90% of the time, so that in the future, if this were a NEMA 1450, or if the EVs at large transition to requiring a neutral for any reason, we are equipped and don't have to re-pull. The cost of that conductor with the original installation was about $1 a foot. The cost of that conductor at a later date is $500, $1,000, $1,200. It's substantially more complicated. Well, this is cumbersome. I should have saved the T30 tamper-proof Torx that's required to remove this, and should have just set it right down inside the unit there. There's a lesson learned. There it is. Whew. Keep the stuff, right? Hang on to the stuff. You never know who's gonna have to service the unit. Oh, hi, Minnow. And off goes Minnow. It is time for the template. It says, please drill holes in the wall according to the hole size on the cardboard. One of the things I need to consider here is that my supply conduit comes in the left. I don't know if it's reversible because presently the power cord is on the left. So let's see if I can't reverse that, because I might need to do this and have it overhanging, right, the side here a little bit. Let's pull it apart, see what the guts look like. Noticing here that ease of entry is real. If you have significant concerns around security when you require tamper-proof, that's actually not what's going on here. So that's just a snap cover, Phillips screws. Careful not to use the tiny little gaskets that are required for weatherproofing. Oh, and there it goes. No parts to lose there. We are progressing into the internal mechanism of the unit. So these kinds of fittings are cool. This is a gland fitting, right? So you're going to penetrate that for your incoming cable. That's a watertight fitting. It's got a gasket here. It's got a gasket that seals around the cable. Love the fact that they supply this, right? You can see the compression aspect when that's snugged down. So fantastic fitting. Not required here because we've got PVC entering from the bottom. This is a rain tight application. I would never suggest that you have an EV charger that's receiving direct spray from a sprinkler, an irrigation system, for instance, because that is actually that's a distinct and different weather rating from rain. Rain comes down vertically, possibly horizontally, but sprinklers are upward facing, and that is an entirely different NEMA rating. Man, that looks fantastic. I'm glad I didn't go through any effort to reverse that. All right, happy with that. Let's use our mounting template that's provided. The Autobot is provided with drill outs, which means it's hard plastic that needs to be removed by means of a drill. That was real clean and smooth. It's got a nice gasketed fitting. You see that? Take a look at that. Gaskets provided for weather sealing. They protrude slightly from the back of the unit. I love it. There's our Sharpie Pro, marks on wet and oily surfaces. This thing outperforms Milwaukee, Sharpie Industrial, yada, yada, yada. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna line up the shoulder of the fitting as it's depicted, right with the shoulder of this fitting. I just leveled a piece of paper. Strikes me as being funny. You may be asking, why all the safety? Silica dust. Let's just mount my 13.5-pound friend here on the wall. I'd be suspicious of the weather sealing abilities of the gasket on the back if I didn't land cleanly on the flat surface of the brick, but I did for both mounting holes, so I'm confident I'm going to maintain the weather tightness of this unit. It's really important, I can't overstress it, it's really important that you don't allow water entry into the unit. That anytime you're doing exterior work, whether it's roofing or electrical, you think like water. That's one of the best tips, just think like water. Don't over torque that, you crack the plastic, this unit or any other. The template did not fail me. It's a fit. I love the fact that Autobot provides these terminals. This is a great way to terminate wire in a broad range of applications. These were provided. It does require that you now have a crimping tool. Autobot did not specify what kind of tool. These are diagonal crimping pliers. I'm gonna just give that a nice firm. It did penetrate the insulation there a little bit. Let's do it one more time. I want a nice firm connection. Then I'm going to give them a tug test. Okay, that's on there stoutly. Number 2. Yeah, I'm going to bear down pretty good on that, no question. Let's see if it'll capture my 10 gauge ground, which is the appropriate code size ground for a 60 amp service. There it goes. And of course, I'm gonna cap my unused wire. I don't want it to make accidental connection with any of the live terminals in the Autobot unit. This is a requirement to cap the unused wires, whether you're in an electrical panel or any other kind of unit. 2.4 Newton meters, which correlates to about 22 inch-pounds. Let's torque it down, get it right. I don't want to over torque, which is just as bad as under torque. Over torque bears the risk of terminal failure, meaning it cracks, it splits, it literally breaks, and you end up with a high resistance situation because the terminal, the bolt is shearing off slowly under the pressure. It's stripping out, whatever the case may be. So each one of these terminals is clearly labeled L1, L2 in this case, rather than neutral, and PE, the equipment ground. Let's terminate, fire this baby up, see what it can do. Autobot, I've got to hand it to you. No special tools required. Thank you. Before we put this back together, there's a very important rubber band that circumferences the unit there. You want to make sure that is securely in place so that it meets up with this cover and provides that weather-tight barrier. In addition, each one of these screws has a little rubber gasket. Don't lose that. Keep the water out. I'm gonna tighten down this gasket, just hand tight, right? Plastic fittings are generally hand tight. Let's get that cord rotated in a way that I like it. You know what? Take it back. We're going this way. Yeah. Integrated cable management with a lip to prevent the cable falling off the front. I like that. Remove the cover. It's at an upward angle to prevent water infiltration. I like that. Yeah, that's clean. That's clean, that's good. Autobot, you're making it happen. It's fired up. That's it. It's working. 48 amp. I did fail to mention that there's an internal dip switch mechanism that allows you to derate the capacity of the charger to fit the limitations of your condition, whether that's the service or the circuit, the wire, whatever the case may be. Autobot's covered the bases. So let's get into the tech side and see if this will charge up Tesla Model 3 as indicated. All right, it's fired up. There it is. I'm gonna use the J1772 to Tesla adapter. It's about 45 bucks on the Tesla store. I keep one in the trunk for a situation such as this. All right, this is a pretty heavy duty cord. This will last. This will last. The one maybe aspect of such a heavy duty cord is it's pretty stiff. It's maybe a little harder to manage than what I would like, but it will last. It's gonna hold up, right? It's gonna get dragged across the ground. I probably charge this thing 3 times a week from about 40% charge back up to 80%. Just keep it in that sweet spot to manage and maintain the longevity of battery health. So it's not a daily activity, but it's every other day. Real convenient. Got my Tesla app opened up. I'm gonna hit start charging. And the message I receive is start charging failed. Check your vehicle for details. Let's do that. On my Tesla, I have a timed charge that begins at 10 p.m., which is when I'm able to take advantage of that beautiful discounted utility rate. And I have scheduled departure. So the cabin comes to climate at the 6:45 every morning. I love it. I'm gonna hit start charging. I'm at 50% and dang it. Charging equipment not ready. Learn more. Okay. It says the station is communicating to your vehicle that the external charging equipment is not ready or charging is not authorized. RFID card. I wonder if that will provide authorization. Let's try it. Yes, it's charging. Kilowatt hours. The 11.8, there it is. Full capacity charge. I'm gonna tap. I've now discontinued the charging session and disconnected the unit with the tap of the RFID card. That's pretty cool. All right, let's let it rock and roll for a little bit and heat this up. The Tesla confirms 2 hours and 10 minutes remaining, 12 kilowatts, slightly rounded up. We've so far introduced 0 kilowatt hours of energy to the vehicle, 48 amp rate of charge, 242 volts with a charge limit set at 80% to manage battery health. Beautiful. Autobot, first try, 0 issues. RFID card is the ticket. So the app for the Autobot provided some issues. 1, there's no iPhone app. 2, Android app was not seamless. Needs some work. However, the hardware itself, fantastic. You can control the unit from the RFID card and from the mobile app native to your EV that you're driving. It's officially 7 days until fall in Indiana, which means cold weather. In preparation for that, iHood has stepped up as our channel sponsor for cold weather gear. This is a heated jacket, and I am looking forward to enjoying this as Electric Pro Academy continues with our installs in cold weather. Just feel sorry for the camera guy. He doesn't have one of these. Ooh, large, fits great, feels good, looks good. Camera guy likes it. He's not gonna get it though. 52 watt hour battery, fits in a zipper pocket right there. Hello. It's on. That's the touch control right there. It's got hood, collar, back, chest, waist. I can feel the warmth coursing through my, oh yeah. Oh, I've never had a heated jacket, guys. This is luxury, and it comes with little patches like Statue of Liberty, little elephant, maple leaf that said you put a rip in it. It's a waterproof patch and repair. It's pretty cool. Multi-zone, multi-level, touch zone heating capacity. That's awesome. It's a ton of heat output. 140 bucks on Amazon, 137 bucks on their site. iHood's where it's at. Great fit, good look. I want to say thanks to Autobot for sponsoring this video. This is a good product. The aesthetics are fantastic in my opinion. Indoor, outdoor, RFID card, beautiful simplicity between hardwire, NEMA 1450 plug-in style, charges at the fastest rate, only $400 on Amazon, less a $100 coupon, down to $270 for some models. That's the right price. However, we did run into app issues. There's no iPhone app, and the Android app was, so if you need that app control, it might not be right for you. However, solid, good product. Don't forget to check the description. We're giving away this Autobot charger to 1 lucky applicant. Also want to say thanks to iHood for the comfort I'm going to enjoy this winter with the heated jacket. And subscribe to Electric Pro Academy for real skills to make real money.